This is CapCan Knows, the official podcast of the Capital Area College Access Network. We're excited to engage the community in conversations about college access. I am your host for today, guest host, Dominic Violetta, and I'm the college advisor at the Wilson Talent Center. And I'm joined by Naomi and Jack Walensky, who is a Vista and works with me at CapCan. So first of all, I think to get started, and thank you for joining us, Naomi.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to start this a little unconventionally. We're going to talk about books and stuff. So tell me about your favorite book.
My favorite book is The Grace Year,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it because of the adventures that the main character has to go on and get through, and how she has to fight the norm. And the little romance that there is in there, she's seen more as the hero and the one that's fighting the most, unlike normal books where the boy is doing everything for the damsel in distress.
I think we've kind of talked about this, but like fantasy as a genre, they can have some like not great gender stereotypes throughout because like oftentimes it'll be like the hero who doesn't do a whole lot, or the female character who just exists to like as a plot device for the male character, which is always like not great. So you actually do really like fantasy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. Do you have any recommendations for our listeners for books other than that one?
None that I can think of right now.
Okay. I respect that. Now, so you were part of our summer program. You did. Can you talk about like what you learned from that and what you thought was cool about it?
I thought it was cool that we were able to visit all these different colleges and see what's different about them from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and how there's always one little thing that made them special, or a program that made them better at that specific thing. I enjoyed visiting the colleges and just seeing how much they wanted to support and help
Mm-hmm.
the students coming in, how they're willing to like give these scholarships, give these like and all this advice and stuff like that.
You really like Michigan State, am I right?
Yes.
What do you think was cool about it?
Michigan State, honestly, one of the best parts would be like the campus.
Mm-hmm.
I just really enjoy how big it is and like all of the nature. And even though I'm a total introvert, when I say big, I just mean being able to like walk around. There's so much to like see.
And the squirrels too.
Oh, the
And the
squirrels. I love the squirrels. Thank you, Jack.
My dad, he works at
Yeah.
MSU, and he's been attacked by a squirrel.
They happen.
It does happen.
Like, don't get too close to them because
Yeah.
I've known people it's happened
He
to.
was underneath the chiller, and he looked up, and there it was.
Isn't there a squirrel watching club at Michigan State?
Yeah, there is.
There is.
I'm friends with someone who's so both him and I went to MSU.
Yeah.
And so I'm friends with someone who's like notorious for going around just taking pictures of the squirrels, and he works for the newspaper. Yeah.
So we both went to James Madison. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's a joke because that was something that came up every time we did a college ambassador. Sorry for telling an in-joke to the podcast room. It's my bad. But you were interested in one of the residential colleges too, right? You wanted to do ARCA, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of drew you to that?
Because of creative writing, because I enjoy writing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So on my free time, I mean, if you told me to write, then I completely hate it. Yeah.
Isn't that how those things go? So I don't know how much you want to share about this, but you do write.
Yes.
Like you've been published and you do
Yes.
write on your own. Can you talk a little bit about like what that means to you?
It means a lot to me because honestly, at first when I started writing, it was just on some random website, and it was a dare.
Yeah.
It was a complete dare, and because they're like, I enjoy your writing, so they gave me two characters that they like, my sisters, and she's like, just write a story about them with a happy ending.
Yeah.
And I did, and it got a lot of like support and love, and I was like, and I already knew that I liked writing, so I wanted to try writing something of my own, with my own characters, my own plot. And I published that one on the website, and that also got a huge like following, lots of readers, and that's when I started to like search out for like people that actually would like publish these like on different more known websites, I guess.
Yeah.
And like edit them for me because I miss things a lot.
It's hard.
It is.
It's hard. You are though at like 17, a published author, I believe, right?
Yes.
Which is really cool. I wanted to like hype up my students. It's like, come on, like, isn't that cool? Yeah, that's cool. But like, you want to continue that on when you go to school, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. This is what's like really important that when we talk about school, like we like talk about how students can like follow their passions and do things that they like, because like all too often it's like you need to get a job with your degree. That's the only thing it's for. But, like,
Yeah.
hey, you have a cool interest that the thing is like really worth pursuing. So yeah. But anyways, you were drawn to ARCA. I'm sorry, I talked too much. What drew you to ARCA?
Creative writing. The arts.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. It's a cool name.
Yeah.
We will go on a tour there someday.
Eventually.
Eventually. It will happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So anyways. Well, do you have any specific things that jumped out to you when we did the summer stuff? Like what do you remember back to?
Honestly, this doesn't even have to do with like the college part,
Yeah.
but it was the way that when we first started, most of us were terrified of like each other. And like by the end of it, I had inside jokes with other people, and it was the way we were able to bond over something such as like college. Like when you talk about college to somebody, it's not fun unless it's like your grandma would be like, "Oh, I'm so proud you're in college now." Like it's not fun. But we were able to bond over that stuff, and I have a lot of friends now from that group.
I didn't know that happened. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm really happy to hear that. I think
Oh, how'd you find out about it?
Dominic.
I'm pretty sure like
He barged into the classroom and he was like, "I need you, and you." And we went to a different room.
much like this interview. It's a recurring trend of what I do here. Yeah, it's pretty fair. But yeah, I think you were recommended by your teacher, and yeah, I think it went well. I think everybody had fun. I mean, like
Yes.
you like the tours, and
Yes.
yes.
Definitely, I learned a lot of things that I didn't know before.
hmm Did you like you seemed like you did really like the vibe of MSU. There's all the activities and all
Yeah.
the stuff. Just so you know, there are 3 Quidditch teams at Michigan State.
I was one of them.
No way. What?
Way, yeah.
Way. Oh, that's sweet. That's
So
sweet.
if
That's
you
sweet.
need any Quidditch like insights as to how that works, I can get you hooked up.
I'm going to take you up on that.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
All the Quidditch parties would be hosted at my house.
Are you serious?
No, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Maybe get them.
That's like one of those things I want to tell my parents that's going on in college. Be like, yeah, I'm on a sports team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
don't
gonna.
get to know which one, but
My dad would be like, "You trying to be tired of me?" See, he's super smart. He'd be like, "Can I come to a game?" No, no.
Yeah. Their team is like crazy. They go out to like Utah in different states.
Oh
like that
yeah,
for
it's like
tournaments.
actually competitive.
Yeah.
super Quidditch in myself.
But like, what's fun is like all the clubs that you make friends with, and like there's like so much activity and like stuff going on. Like I can guarantee there are like theater troops because you really like theater and the performing arts, or theater troops students that like get together and do stuff, and it's at all levels of like how committed. There are some that are super intense, less intense. But now I'm gonna make you talk about your musicals and stuff.
Okay.
So Naomi does musicals too. So
Yes.
talk about that a bit. What do you get from the performance?
The musical is honestly so funny to me because when you know me in person, like I said, I am the most introverted person I can be. I am terrified to speak in front of people. And then I go up on stage and I'm belting out songs and acting like I'm either in love with somebody, I hate somebody, or I've acted like I was dying before and I made it the most dramatic I could. And then I get off stage and I'm still scared of everything.
It's kind of fun how that works. Because
Yeah.
I'm like different on stage.
I'm just so scared of my choir director, our musical director, that I can't fail her.
You just got cast in another part, right?
Yes, I am. In Cinderella, I am playing Cinderella. My younger sister is my evil stepmother. On
What do you have? Was it some of the performances like in March-ish, right?
Yes. Yesterday was the first read through, and I was already yelled at many times by my sister. And she'll turn around. She sits in front of me during this, and she'll turn around and just start screaming at me. I wonder what I did throughout our lives to make her so ready for this part because I'm like in tears.
Okay, back to my job. Focus. So, what have you done this year to help with talk about college with your friends and classmates and stuff?
This year,
Yes.
well, at our school we have like college visits
Hmm.
and stuff like that you sign up for. And because I'm in this program in SAM, we were actually offered from our counselor if we wanted to like come sit in and like afterwards people come talk to us about things.
Congratulations.
Yes, it was once again very scary the first time, but then after that it's like the same people go to the college visits, so
Yeah,
it gets a lot easier.
you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. So you also helped with our college fair here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talked to some people, you let some people around. What's that kind of like?
At first, it was terrifying. Yep, as usual. But once I got to actually talk to some of the people at the tables and got to know them better, it was a lot easier to like guide them over and be like, this person has a question because like I've talked to you a few times. So, and the fact that I got to see people that like they had like their notebooks out, their pencils, like they were genuinely like they had questions, they wanted to know this stuff. Made me very happy to know that like people are actually like trying for an education.
It's awesome. What do you think people your age want to know about? Like, if they have big questions, what do you think some of those questions are about college?
College, for my age, I feel like a big thing, of course, is like money and scholarships. There's actually a lot of kids at my school that don't know the difference between like grants, loans, and scholarships.
Yeah.
And another thing for my age is definitely like rooming, dorms. Like other colleges are different. It really depends.
I think those are really important things to sort of talk about and just clarify with students. Like, what's it like to have like a roommate in college? And like, what are different living arrangements like? I love my college roommate. He'll be with me for 4 years. He's a great guy. I always you're listening.
Yeah, no. If you move on to campus, I remember my freshman year, like the hall that I lived in, we were all best friends, and it's just I look back at that, and that's like some of my greatest memories that I've ever had is like having friendsgiving in the common area space where we all bring whatever food we have, whether that was like bag of Cheetos or ramen noodles or it's stuff like that where it's like, I wish I could if I could have a time machine, I would go back to that.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like if you do the ARC, if you do ARC at Michigan State, like all your like classmates are gonna be in one dorm together. So like
And that's how we were too.
that's how we were. Yeah.
I don't know if I said that.
No. But it's really nice. Make a lot of friends, easy to socialize. Yeah, but it's like living on campus is I think there's something important worth talking about there. Just so that you know what it's like because it's different everywhere. Now, I'm gonna change gears a little bit. So you do kind of a specific program here at Wilson Talent Center. What is it? What would you like people to know about it?
I do the business and risk management program. It is all about insurance. It roped us all in without none of us knew. And our teacher apologized a week in when she realized that it had happened again. At first, I was like, I don't want to do this. This is insurance. This seems like it might involve math, and I was not. Business would involve math too, but I was willing because I was like, it's a business. Maybe I can start one.
Yeah.
And now it's my second year of doing it, and I have a mentor.
Oh yeah, who's your mentor?
Eric Dottie from Accident Fund.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he's basically got me all set for wanting to become an underwriter. And like insurance is made out to be like so hard, but it's just terms really that you need to like memorize and understand.
Yeah.
And the class gets you like so far with networking and just going out with opportunities. Kemon met I don't know. But well, first
Somebody cool.
he met someone pretty cool. Yeah.
Your
Why?
teacher, she does a really good job
Yeah.
of like just like connecting all with people
Yeah.
and making sure that you all have like basic like professional
Mike
skills.
Pence. Come met Mike Pence.
Oh yeah.
Ah! I was like, I should not forget this. It's bad. He was pretty important. He still is.
I remember that. I think I saw that.
Yeah,
on
he had
Facebook.
the bot. They all came in and complained about the bodyguards, and because they went to go take a picture, and their bodyguards just ripping their hands off, and they're like, he's a ninja. Because you meet important people and Kemwon literally got to like email him a few days later.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
He told Kemwon that he enjoyed being in Michigan and that he wanted to like come back a few more times. Kemwon was like, "Come to our class," so that might be happening in the near future.
That's so cool.
Don't release the address of this school.
But your team, like, you do a lot of like professional stuff
Yeah.
and activities. Y'all went to DC for a while.
We have like business pitches and stuff like that.
Y'all win a lot of those too, right?
Yeah, we'll go with like 3 teams, and usually all 3 teams are in the top 5.
It's usually like first, second.
Yeah, I wanted to be someone.
It's usually first, second.
Yeah.
They usually win.
Our competition is ourselves. It gets pretty bad on the bus.
We're trying to create a supportive environment for students, I swear.
You need some competition. It's some friendly competition.
Anyways,
Friendships.
it is really cool what y'all do. And like, just like professional activities, presentations, and all these like life skills, I think are really valuable.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of those. You're doing a presentation actually in a couple weeks, right?
That is correct.
Where is it at?
It's Lansing.
What's it for?
It's more of like a lecture.
Yeah.
So usually we end up going on these trips to watch like a class that is for insurance agents or agents from different like companies and stuff like that. But this time we got the opportunity to take up like an hour, half an hour, or something.
Yeah.
To basically teach them.
Oh.
So each of us are in a pair, and we have 5 minutes, I believe, to talk about our topic that we're given. A few minutes for questions. We're the teachers now.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's your topic on?
Me and Kemlon are doing mentors.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We got lucky. Ours is like the only one that doesn't involve research. I didn't do it on purpose. I swear, I didn't take the easy way out. I was just giving it.
For a mentor, are you going to recommend Mr. Violetta here?
That's the insurance mentor thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, still, I would recommend you as a
Not for insurance.
Goodbye.
I'm probably going to ask you at some point.
Yeah.
I can lie really well.
Yeah. Just say the big
I
word.
did that out of the podcast, Jack. Now, I think we're going for that.
Oh,
I think at least I am for that. Anyways.
maybe you'll see me there too.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Anyways. So, my other question is, what's it like having me here? How do I help prepare people for college here?
The amount of times we're like whining in our class and like I gotta go like we'll be whining about college and like stuff, and I think the top like 2 I'm talking about.
We're going to be supportive.
But Dominic's very easy to talk to, and you're very easy to talk to and get along with, and we'll all be struggling, and the first thing we do is pop up and tell Miss Lizzie, we're like, I'm gonna go see Dominic. Like, there's been a few times where like 4 of us have marched down there because we need Dominic.
Yep.
You never know where he is in the school if he's not in his office, so we're just kind of like, we're stalking around, but
You just wander around and find me eventually,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I'm somewhere in the building.
Yeah.
I might be like,
but he's always there, whether you need like if you need actual help or just like a conversation to get you through the day. He's not just an intern.
thank you. My favorite conversation topic recently has been Waffle House. You know about the Waffle House Index?
No.
Do you know what the Waffle House are next?
No, I just know it's been in the news recently after Trevor Lawrence won the Jaguars Chargers game in the NFL the other day. He like a few minutes after he won that, he went to Waffle House as a celebration.
I love Waffle. We need some Waffle House in Michigan. But so they what are called they like go teams of like emergency first responders. They send to Waffle Houses that have like immediate like natural disasters like hurricanes and other stuff. So Waffle Houses will stay open during hurricanes, earthquakes, and the Waffle House Index is what like FEMA uses unofficially to calculate how bad disasters are of how many Waffle Houses have remained open. And I am obsessed with this, and I've shared this with like at least a dozen of my students.
Dominic's our Waffle House.
So you're an early middle college student. What do you do for that? What does that mean for you? What is it like?
Early college it's all online, so we're basically taking extra classes that we do on our own time, and some of us like will instead of we have like 3 years. Our 13th year is like completely all online. We're no high school, no like going to an actual college, and that's just a bunch of classes till we finish the year.
Yeah.
Starting our junior year, our junior years when we started these online classes, they were like easy. We had like 2 of them. Then over the summer, you could choose 2 or 3. And then we didn't actually have any for fall, and we just started 3 more classes, which once again you can like choose 2 or 3. It just eases up the load on your 13th year if you do 3. But it's just a bunch of online classes, and then once you finish your 13th year, you have your associates.
Mm-hmm. You're doing it through Ferris, right?
Correct.
You're getting your associates in biz.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to brag, but you do pretty well in your classes.
Yes.
Yeah, she does pretty well in her classes, folks.
I am the type to cry if I have an A minus. So
you do well, and I want to brag about my students. So since you're taking an extra year, what we're kind of doing is like talking about schools. We'll probably like meet later in the year and talk about like where you're interested in going and what works best for you. Since you're kind of sort of for the purpose of applying to college, kind of like a junior, but not really.
Yeah.
So where are you looking at for school next year? We talked about this a bit. What are some schools?
Yes. So well, next year is like the finish with Ferris, but then after that, I'm stuck in between like MSU and ARCA, and then like Olivet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Eric Dottie, my mentor, he went to Olivet, so of course he wants me to go to Olivet.
Yeah.
And they have a really good insurance program there, of course.
Oh yeah.
And then ARCA, of course, for more of like a creative writing. And then you've told me like a few things that just like kind of pushed me that way too. And then MSU, once again, it's just like it's there. I love the campus.
Mm-hmm.
I really shouldn't just go there because the campus
Campus means a lot.
yeah. But and they also have stuff. Yeah, they have a Quidditch team.
Great.
Why won't
Yes.
I'm going on soon. There you go.
There you go.
Yep,
Folks, Quidditch. Yeah, I respect that. I went for the food and part, so I kind of get the food's important, right? It's like
Cat food at MSU, underrated, I'd say.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
They get the bacon from the MSU dairy, I think, and I remember like wake up when I was in like Chase Hall, and I'd always wake up at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
To get ready for class, and I remember going down at the breakfast and it was like the breakfast like buffet area. And I was like, I want as much bacon as you can give me. I don't want 3 slices of bacon. I want as much as you can give me without your supervisor yelling at you.
Yeah.
And that usually worked.
For sure. My favorite was on football days or basketball days or whatever day had a major game day on it. Bakeries would always unleash their game day cookies, which are the best sugar cookies you've ever had in your life. And they're like this big, black MSU on it, or the black Sparty on it with frosting. If for any reason you want to go to MSU, Quidditch aside,
it's a big
game day cookies.
Add that to my pros list.
Yeah, the food is good there.
Yeah,
the food is good. Now, so what tips do you have for students right now in school?
The first thing is I've seen my friends getting stressed out about it, and they're like, "I'm behind. Like the deadlines are coming up. You really want to get this stuff done as soon as you can. Like you don't need to rush through it to the point that you make mistakes, but you should really start early. And even if that is applying somewhere and only filling out a question a day or something, like it's a lot better than last minute screwing up a chance of you getting into somewhere because you decide to wait."
I think that's really important. Now, I think since you're doing the early middle college, what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna work on some stuff. So
Yeah.
Be really prepared when you actually start applying.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this a bit. Broadly, what are your classmates worried about?
Most of the worry in my class at the moment is just getting in, getting somewhere, and our whiteboard at the moment is full of Venn diagrams of pros and cons and middles and deciding which place is the right place for you and if this is actually going to be what they want, because a lot of us want to go into insurance in that class and a lot of them and some of them don't. So it's do they want to stick with insurance anyways because they're good with it, or do they want to do something that they're not sure they actually like? Or it's the worry at the moment is what's right, what's the right college, what's the right major, what they're going to want.
I think it's also important to know that it's totally normal for pathways to change too. Some of my friends changed majors. I can't count how many times, but you go in. I wanted to go in to college thinking I'd be a lawyer, and I came out and I was like, nah, that's not for me. Yeah, but and to couple that, I think another important way for you to decide is if you can actually visiting the schools too, which we talked about. You gotta get a sense of each school's vibe, because I call MSU home now because that's how important and special it is to me.
Do you think that visiting helped you?
Yes, definitely.
It just makes because there is that quality that you mentioned, you put the paper right. So, does it fit what you want? Because you really can't see that. The school. You have to be there and see
And it definitely depends on the person, because some people would find one college completely perfect for them, and the other person's gonna be no, thank you.
I think that's a really good point, especially with something like size. Size of the school. Some people might be yes.
No.
When we saw Michigan State.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And I think you like the scale.
Yeah.
Right. So, I guess we're gonna kind of start wrapping this up, maybe. But I'm gonna have another random question for you. So, what are some of your inspirations in your writing fiction? What stories do you really inspired you?
This is funny because I'm the type of writer to I'll hear something or I'll see something and then my brain immediately turns it into some story. So it's and then I just write something down and then eventually I get to writing it. I've woken up one time with some story idea, wrote it down because I knew I'd forget, and then went back to sleep. And it's funny because I'll look back at it and it's I don't even understand it because I was so tired that the words are so messed up. I eventually got the gist of it, but it was a really popular book, by the way. That one was really I really loved.
Sold really
Yeah.
well? Okay.
I'm glad because I did not understand what I originally wrote.
I'm really happy to hear that. You wrote so well.
It's really the most random stuff. One day when I was at soccer practice, there was both of these girls that graduated. They were just being really nice to my sister because she was a freshman at the time. And I was I wonder, because I know a lot about soccer. I was like, maybe if I write a book about like soccer and like the struggles of like dealing with some other stuff, because that one, the book was mainly focused on like racism and stuff like that, and like he was a soccer player, and yeah, that's where I got that from. A lot of my books are like there's like one main focus, and it's like a problem and like getting past it.
That is really cool. Yeah, I kind of brag about my students. They do cool stuff. You hear this? Like, come on. So that is really interesting. So this is something you're gonna love probably continue. When you're in school, especially in college afterwards, like, and we've talked about this, but like, what do you want school to do for you when you're like in college? Like, what do you want as like this? Not just like even getting a job necessarily. Like, what was like sort of growth that you want to see from it, and how do you want to like continue? Like,
College is almost going to be like one big like accomplishment, just to like say that I did it. Not a lot of my family have made it into college or finished it, or some of them like not even getting past high school. So this is like one big step for my family, and I just want to show that like I did this, and I want to be like educated. Like I want to be able to know what I'm talking about, and I want the degree. I want the help to get into a job.
Thank you for sharing that. That was.
So it seems like we're coming to the end of the interview. I have one last question. We end every interview with a hashtag CapCanKnows, where you state your name and what you know. So I ask you, Naomi, what do you know?
My name is Naomi, and I know that college and getting into it is a lot easier than people make it out to be.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank Naomi for coming on the podcast to chat with CapCan. For more information on CapCan, please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or visit our website at capcan.org, which, yes, please do. Thank you for listening to us today, and we will see you again soon.